most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, our series follows our MC, Noor, a hard-working man seen helping out Auntie Stella with manual labor in the morning. Immediately heading off to a day job, carrying heavy luggage all throughout a construction site, only to get praised for his athletic feats throughout the day. Having heard a cry in a nearby cave, Noor immediately rushes into the cave, shocked to see a group of people fighting against a massive-looking monster. Flashing back 15 years, in the northwest kingdom of Clays, we see a young Noor starting a fire and preparing some medicine, checking on his mother, who thanks Noor for taking care of her. Suddenly remembering that he needs to retrieve the goats on the hill, Noor promises to not cross beyond the rocks, knowing that his mother is worried he may not return. Noor says he'll hunt a rabbit and acquire several nuts and seeds to make them soup for dinner, suddenly running off to fetch some water, seeing his mother coughing profusely. Quickly stopping Noor's mother apologizes for causing Noor so much trouble, asking that Noor live the life he always wanted. As Noor fulfills his task for the day, he begins prepping the soup for their dinner, but upon delivering the meal to his mother, Noor is mortified to learn that his mother had passed away during the night. With a proper burial the next day, Noor sheds some tears, stealing his resolve, as he continues to hunt, feed his livestock, clean his house and read. As time goes by, Noor is seen doing his everyday tasks over and over, always ending the day alone at the dinner table, but one night whilst Noor is cleaning up a bookshelf, he accidentally stumbles onto a fancy-looking book. Upon reading its contents, Noor is reminded of when his younger self had asked his father what an adventurer is, amazed to hear his father recount tales of adventurers slaying a massive dragon, learning all sorts of powerful magic, destroying curses and even obtaining an elixir that cures all illnesses. Hearing that an adventurer is someone that vanquishes all evil, Noor is reminded of his mother's final words, asking Noor to live the life he always wanted. Figuring out what he must do, Noor gives livestock plenty of food for a while, visiting his parents' graves, and declaring that he had decided to become an adventurer. Leaving his hometown for the first time, Noor decides to cross over the rocks his mother warned him against doing, unable to sleep out of fear on his first night, but successfully makes it to a new town. Passing by the town guards, Noor is instantly blown away by the thriving city, excited by what is to come. Arriving at the Adventurers Guild, Noor is unfortunately told to go away by a mean-looking guildmaster, reminding Noor that his parents probably don't want their child enrolling into something so dangerous. With a serious demeanor, Noor reveals that his parents have passed away, catching the attention of the guildmaster, who feels sorry for Noor. The guildmaster states that in order for Noor to register as an adventurer with the Royal Capital's Adventurer Guild, Noor must first attend Royal Training School, where Noor will acquire a class in various skills. Fired up to wield a sword and learn magic, Noor immediately enrolls into school, watching as a fellow classmate's sword suddenly ignites with fire. Focused on the future, Noor continues to train for several months. Noor is the sole student that hasn't acquired a special class, pulled aside to have a quick chat with his instructor. The instructor reveals that Noor has only learned how to parry attacks, advised to give up on becoming an adventurer since Noor has no aptitude for adventuring. Having not given up, Noor trains to become a warrior, someone that acts as a shield for their party, but even after several months of training, his instructor sadly advises Noor to give up trying to be a warrior. When trying out for a hunter, Noor is scolded for being too rough with a bow. When training for a spy, Noor learns that he is incapable of dismantling traps and can't sense anyone's presence. Moving on to a magician, Noor's instructor is shocked to see how weak Noor's magic capabilities are, even turned away by his cleric instructor, having no aptitude for light magic. After 3 months, Noor regretfully informs the guildmaster that he has yet to acquire a skill, forcing the guildmaster to refuse Noor from being an adventurer, fearing that Noor would simply hurt himself. With his head hung low, Noor slowly trudges back to his hometown, visiting his parents' burials to inform them of his failures, but Noor still refuses to give up. Crafting a wooden sword, Noor remembers that his sword instructor had told him to repeatedly practice a skill until he masters it, forced to repeat his parry skill day and night. With a single year of practicing the parry skill, Noor succeeds in parrying 10 swords at once, cutting to 3 years later when Noor has mastered the ability to parry 100 swords at once, but sadly no new skills. Knowing that he'll never become an adventurer at the rate he's growing, Noor continues to drill the parry skill, cutting to 10 years later where a single swing of Noor's blade is capable of sending shockwaves throughout the nearby forest, revealing that Noor has the ability to parry 1,000 swords at once. With no new skills under his belt, Noor bids his parents goodbye, heading back to the Adventurers Guild to try once more, revealing to the receptionist that he has the ability to parry, the ability to enhance his body along with several other weak skills. When the receptionist advises Noor to undergo training to find a class, Noor sadly admits that he has already tried all the possible training schools out there, suddenly running into the guild master. Amazed to see that Noor has grown so much, reminding Noor that adventurers range from S rank all the way to E rank and that Noor still technically can become an adventurer. Excited, Noor learns of the F rank adventures, people that are forbidden from taking on quests that involve slaying and gathering and are only allowed to take on tasks within the city. The guildmaster advises Noor against stooping so low, but having made up his mind, Noor gladly accepts the title of F rank, if it means that he can be an adventurer. Physically enhancing his body, Noor gets to work, making use of feather steps to catch a stray cat and low-tier healing to patch up any wounds. Making sure to train in the afternoons, Noor enjoys the hot springs at night, only to return to helping people throughout town during the day, taking time to impress some kids with his stone-throwing technique. At night, Noor states how grateful he is to be able to help people, wondering if there is any way he can obtain a higher rank. Having been caught up to date, Noor is seen rushing into a nearby cave, shocked to see a monster that he's only read about in books. As the monster begins approaching some knights, the knights declare that they must protect the binded girl at all cost, giving their lives to stall the monster. With Noor confirming that the men are all slowly dying, Noor helplessly watches as the knights attempt to fight for their lives, but having seen enough, Noor grabs one of the knights' swords, hurling several stones at the monster to lead the creature away from the tied-up girl. Knowing what he must do, Noor begins to run away, suddenly turning only to parry the monster's horns, pushing the creature aside temporarily. Now forced to parry the monster strikes, Noor's blade begins to wear down, racking his brain for any way to win, but Noor knows he has no offensive abilities. Suddenly spotting the monster aggro onto the girl due to some interference, Noor decides to bet his life on the next attacks, sacrificing his blade to parry a lethal slash from the creature. With his shattered blade, Noor remembers the words from his father, choosing to meet the creature's axe head-on, parrying the axe and decapitating the creature with its own axe. Exhausted by the fight, Noor admits that he still has a lot to learn, suddenly hearing the girl thank him for saving her. Noor finds it sad that so many men had passed during the battle, swiftly heading off when the girl asks for his name, but it's revealed that the girl's name is Lady Lindbergh. As Noor heads through town, Noor reflects on how powerful the cow monster was, even though it wasn't a demon, but this gives Noor more reason to become stronger. Back at the cave, we see Lindbergh praying for the souls that gave their lives to protect her, but just then Ines arrives apologizing for not staying by Lindbergh's side. Lindbergh reassures Ines that she personally chose to not be escorted to the trials for the throne, suddenly interrupted by Lord Darkin, who reports that Lord Rain would like to speak with the two. Following Lord Darkin, Darkin wonders how a demon minotaur from the lower levels of the dungeons would have appeared on the surface, learning from Rain that there was a merchant amongst the pack that summoned and controlled said demon with a ring. Having consulted the Okayan the mage, Okayan had concluded that the ring was of quite high purity, something Darkin knows most nobles wouldn't normally be able to easily obtain a ring that summons an A-ranked demon. Rain reveals that Okayan had found markings on the ring that belonged to the magic empire of Doritas, something Darkin had already assumed was the case, shaming the empire of Doritas for attempting to assassinate Lindbergh and start a war. Darkin knows that Doritas is after the mysterious dungeon of the lost in their empire, which houses many relics. Changing topics, Darkin reads over the description regarding the man that saved Lindbergh, amazed that man slayed the creature with a simple sword and disappeared before the kingdom's trackers could find him. The next morning, Noor returns to the guildmaster, who is surprised to see Noor is okay, worried that Noor ran into the demon at the construction site. Noor apologizes for the confusion, having headed straight home realizing some strange people were following him, but this relieves the guild master as he reveals that he was originally an A rank himself and even he wouldn't face the creature. Hearing this, Noor is relieved that he ran into a weaker demon, happy to receive his pay for yesterday's work. The guildmaster reminds Noor that he could earn 30% more with a normal job, but just then, Lindbergh appears, having finally located Noor with her detection skill. Noor wonders if Lindbergh is of the thief class, but Lindbergh reveals that she is primarily a mage with knowledge of the 6 skill classes at a basic level, impressing Noor. With everyone but Noor recognizing Lindbergh, they all begin wondering if Noor was the man that slayed the A-ranked demon, prompting Lindbergh to suggest they move somewhere else private. Advised by the guildmaster to follow Lindbergh, Noor and Lindbergh begin heading through town with Lindbergh's soundproofing and concealment magic, easily evading the city's guards only to stop in a secluded area. Apologizing for dragging Noor away, Lindbergh sincerely thanks Noor for saving her, asking if Noor would like anything in return, but Noor simply says her thanks was enough. Shocked, Lindbergh asks that Noor meet with her father and be rewarded for saving her life, But when Noor says he really doesn't need anything extraordinary, Lindbergh begins to cry. Lindbergh states that she refuses to move until Noor meets her father, something that reminds Noor of his younger self, ultimately agreeing to accompany Lindbergh as long as she doesn't make it a big deal. Excited, Lindbergh layers several skills to avoid detection, heading towards her mansion, which surprises Noor. Easily making it past the guards, the two introduce themselves, with Noor promising to call Lindbergh Clays, Lin moving forward. Walking through the spacious halls, Noor wonders what type of noble Lin is to afford such a location, suddenly running into Ines, who tells Lin that her father is having a meeting with Rain. Amazed to see a woman in armor, Noor wonders if Ines is a maid, but suddenly spots Ines glaring at him. As Ines escorts Noor and Lin, they run into Gilbert, a man wielding a spear. Immediately Gilbert demands to know who Noor is, sensing nothing special from him, but Ines asks Gilbert to not be so rude, and instead help escort Lin and Noor just in case. Cutting to the king, he gets annoyed learning that VIDZ was behind the attack on the princess, reminded of the time when VIDZ attempted to trade access to the king's dungeon in exchange of their military power. But when the king had refused, VIDZ swore that the king would regret such an action, suddenly spotting Lin entering his throne room, happy to see his daughter alive. As Noor marches beside Lin, Darkin suddenly calls out his sister for using the hermit's cloak to leave the mansion again, but Lin says she needed to thank the man that saved her, intriguing the king. Noor apologizes for not dressing up, but the king reassures Noor that he simply has to be himself, shaking Noor's hand, but before Noor can leave the king asks what Noor would like as a reward. Noor reassures the king that he doesn't need anything, surprising the king as he offers Noor an abundant amount of money, land or even half of the sacred items that the kingdom has found in their dungeon. Even still, Noor refuses to accept anything, wondering if there is any way he can leave without agitating everyone. Thinking for a moment, the king heads towards his throne, picking up a black amalgamated blade, offering the blade to Noor. When Darkin advises his father against such a gift, the king simply states that it's been collecting dust, but when Noor grips the blade, he realizes how heavy the weapon is. Noor asks if the weapon is too pricey for him to accept, but the king reassures Noor that it was a simple item he picked up during his adventures, asking for Noor to give the blade a swing. Happy to hear the sword wasn't too valuable, Noor physically enhances his body with some magic, swinging the blade with a single arm, terrifying everyone at the shockwave Noor's slash gave off. Amused to see Noor handle such a heavy blade with a single arm, the king asks that Noor help train Lin, but Noor sadly refuses, revealing that he doesn't have much to teach Lin. Satisfied with Noor's response, the king allows Noor to leave, cutting to Noor admiring the blade, especially since he can use it as a shovel to help remove clogs from Auntie Stella's drains. Just then, Ines appears, apologizing for acting so rude towards Noor, stating that she was simply acting cautious in protecting Lin. Apologizing for the late introduction, Ines Harness introduces herself as the vice captain of the Clays family warrior corps, but Ines had also obtained the title of Divine Shield. Ines mentions that since Noor saved Lin, Ines will do whatever she can to repay Noor's heroic feat, but seeing as he doesn't need anything at the moment, Noor says he'll tell Ines if he ever needs anything. Ines also takes the chance to warn Noor to never act casual with the king or the Clays family again, demanding that Noor learn the proper etiquette the next time he shows his face. Shocked by Ines's serious demeanor, Noor promises to be careful next time, pleasing Ines as she asks for Noor's name, shocked upon hearing Noor's name, swiftly leaving. Finally alone, Noor attempts to leave once more, but is stopped by Gilbert, who demands to test out Noor's capabilities. Escorted by Gilbert to one of the training halls, Gilbert mentions how Noor and himself will be having a mock battle, revealing that Gilbert himself is quite well known in the royal capital. With Gilbert choosing a wooden spear, Noor opts for a wooden sword, both facing off against each other, all whilst Noor states that he'll learn as much as he can from a real fighter like Gilbert. With the onlookers cheering on Captain Gilbert, Gilbert initiates the duel, thrusting his spear at Noor, but Noor nonchalantly dodges. Impressed, Gilbert begins speeding up, incorporating slashes and thrust into his movements, but once again Noor easily reads and dodges all of Gilbert's strikes. Noor notes how Gilbert's strikes are refined and polished, but finds it strange how Gilbert is moving quite slow, believing that Gilbert is purposely holding back. Pausing the match, Noor asks Gilbert to show his true potential, surprising Gilbert as he also believes he was holding back, apologizing as Gilbert grips his staff, further increasing his speed. Even still, Noor moves to evade Gilbert's advances, wondering why Gilbert is leaving himself wide open, believing it to be a trap. Seeing so many openings, Noor continues to dodge and observe Gilbert's movements, but Gilbert gets pissed, activating a swift skill forcing Noor to leap into the air. Seeing an opening, Gilbert aims for Noor's head, but Noor simply leans back, evading Gilbert's lethal blow. Wondering if Gilbert is still holding back, Noor once again asks Gilbert to go all out, believing that he may actually be stronger than Gilbert, but out of nowhere Gilbert unleashes his Dragrave thrust. In a blink of an eye, Noor disappears, having read and evaded the destructive blow. Apologizing for taunting Gilbert, Noor accepts the defeat, but Gilbert is completely baffled to see a mere human evade his blows. As Noor heads home from the intense duel, Gilbert's men all begin discussing how powerful Gilbert was, believing the wind from Gilbert's spear forced Noor to concede, but Gilbert knows otherwise. Gilbert reveals that he was born with a knack for wielding the spear, flawlessly defeating all of his enemies with a spear and ultimately motivating Gilbert to further refine his skills. One day, Gilbert was confronted by the elder of the village he was staying at, apologizing for not giving Gilbert a worthy opponent, as Gilbert has already defeated everyone in the royal capital and is now on the hunt for anyone that can match his strength. The elder reveals that there has been news of the capital calling for foreign reinforcements, suggesting Gilbert visit the capital once more as there may be more talent for Gilbert to challenge. Intrigued, Gilbert joined the royal forces, slaying demons along with easily climbing the ranks. Having no human nor creature able to defeat Gilbert, Gilbert is seen resting, interrupted by his instructor who teases Gilbert for acquiring the title of Spear Sovereign, a title Gilbert finds cheesy. The instructor reminds Gilbert that he himself has the title of Sword Sovereign, reminding Gilbert of Ines who is quite powerful with the sword, but Gilbert knows that in a duel he would still win. Gilbert asks the instructor how boring it is to be constantly training weak soldiers and adventurers, but the instructor reminds Gilbert that it takes a team to win a war and that one day there will be someone that will surpass not only the instructor but Gilbert himself. In the present, Gilbert wonders who Noor is, having heard that Noor slayed the Minotaur, but didn't accept any lavish rewards from the king. Gilbert knows that Noor doesn't have any unique skills like himself, but even still Gilbert wasn't able to land a single strike on Noor, even after using his ultimate skill. Gilbert thinks back on the duel with Noor, confused as to why Noor admitted defeat, even after evading Gilbert's ultimate skill. Having been humiliated by Noor, Gilbert demands to know where Noor is heading, but Noor diffuses the situation by promising to meet again in the future. Once Noor had left, Gilbert realizes that there are massive cracks in the floor where Noor was standing, excited at the fact that he can finally go all out having found someone that can give him a challenge. Following Noor reveals that he had to physically enhance his body along with using feather steps to evade Gilbert's ultimate technique, thankful to Gilbert as he still believes Gilbert was holding back. The next day, Noor is back to cleaning gutters, amazed that the sword is perfectly fitted for clearing the gutters and is still in good condition. Although Noor is grateful to be able to clear so many gutters, Noor is still disappointed that the sudden appearance of the Minotaur caused his construction job to close down. Staring at his blade, Noor wonders if he can use it to find other F-rank suited jobs, disappointed that his fire skill only ignites a small flame and is at the lowest level. Out of nowhere Lin appears, surprising Noor as he wonders how she found him, learning that Lin asks the guildmaster where Noor was, but Noor deduces that Lin had found him with her tracking skill. Getting straight to the point, Lin asks to be Noor's page, somewhat like an assistant, hoping to follow Noor around and learn from Noor. With Noor immediately refusing, Lin wonders why since she is more than capable of any tasks, having obtained the highest marks from all 6 training schools. Noor simply says that he doesn't need help with any of the jobs he's doing, prompting Lin to offer to recruit Noor as an instructor, but when Noor once again refuses, Lin begins to cry. With no other option, Lin shows off her skills, casting ice spell only to destroy the ice with a high-level fire spell. Next up, Lin unsheaths her dagger, instantly cutting up a tree, revealing that she had learned such a technique from the Shadow Sovereign instructor crew. Finally, Lin takes out the handle of a blade, igniting the blade as she incinerates a tree beside Noor, bragging about the sacred class skill, but Noor asks Lin to stop. Noor confirms that Lin is leagues above himself, telling Lin that he is inferior to her, but hearing Lin reveal that she has been recognized by 6 sovereigns, Noor chooses to show off his weak fire ability. Dejected and heading back home, Lin remembers the stories of a boy with no talent, hearing that the boy attended all 6 training courses staying the full 3 months even though the boy obtained no outstanding talents. Lin realizes this boy was Noor, remembering a time when instructor Okayan had shown Lin a familiar tiny flame spell. Although Okayan says that the tiny flame spell is useless for any application, the tiny flame spell can actually be used to gauge how much someone has trained in general. Creating her own tiny flame, Lin admits that their flame always remained small, but today she saw how grand Noor's tiny flame was, speechless as she knows Noor has trained and worked so hard. remembering how heroic Noor was when facing off against the Minotaur, along with how hospitable Noor is for constantly helping out the citizens of the capital, reasoning that she must learn from Noor, especially since in the future Lin will be ruling alongside her brother. Later that night, Lin meets up with Noor once again, revealing that she'll follow and learn from Noor starting from today, but Noor can't help but be weirded out. Check out one of our other videos on the screen or in the info card above. Subscribe, like and comment.